I don't usually wake up in the middle of the night. I'm a heavy sleeper. One of those people who can snooze through thunder, sirens, even my own alarm if it's too soft. So when I snapped awake at 1:47 a.m., heart pounding for no reason, I already knew something was wrong. At first, I thought it was a nightmare I couldn't remember. But then I heard it. BZZZZT, BZZZZT. My phone was vibrating on my nightstand. I squinted through the darkness. No notification. No alarm. Just a call. Unknown caller. I almost never get random calls and certainly not at this hour. I just stared at the screen trying to decide if I should answer. It rang 3 times. 4. And then it stopped. I exhaled, relieved, maybe a spam call, wrong number, whatever. I put the phone back down. I was about to turn over and go back to sleep when the phone vibrated again. 1:47 a.m. Unknown caller. The exact same call. Same timing. Same silent vibration in the dark. This time, curiosity won over common sense. I accepted the call. Hello? I whispered. No response. Is anyone there? Nothing. But I didn't hang up. Something, instinct maybe, kept me listening. And after about 10 seconds I finally heard something. Breathing. Not normal breathing. Slow, raspy, almost wet. Like someone trying to pull air through a throat full of mucus. Hello? I repeated. The breathing cut off. Then a whisper. I see you. My skin crawled. The voice didn't sound threatening, just observant, like someone pointing out weather. My thumb hovered over the hang-up button, but I stayed. Who is this? I whispered. He didn't answer. Instead, you left your kitchen window open. My blood froze. I sleep in the back of the apartment. There is no line of sight to the kitchen and the lights were off. I sat up in bed. How do you know that? I whispered, voice cracking. Silence. Then, you should close it. I hung up instantly. The room felt way too small. My chest too tight. I grabbed the closest thing I could use as a weapon, a metal water bottle, and crept toward the bedroom door. I opened it. The hallway was dark. No movement. I flipped on the light. Still nothing. I moved slowly down the hall, gripping the water bottle like a hammer. I reached the kitchen. My heart dropped. The window above the sink, the one I always keep locked, was cracked open by about 4 inches. Cold air drifted through it. I didn't scream, but I felt the panic rising to the back of my throat. I slammed the window shut and locked it hard. Then I went back to my bedroom, shut the door, locked that too, and sat in bed staring at my phone. My hands were shaking. Whoever that was, they knew what they weren't supposed to know. I tried to convince myself it was coincidence. A lucky guess. A prank. But then, the phone vibrated again. 1:47 a.m., unknown caller. The same minute. The same caller. The same cold dread ballooning in my chest. I didn't want to answer, but fear made my thumb move on its own. I pressed accept. I didn't speak this time. I just listened. At first, nothing. Then the breathing again, slow, dragging. Then the whisper. Don't go to the living room. My heart lurched. He said it like he was warning me, or directing me, or watching me. I swallowed hard. Why? I whispered. The voice responded, almost amused. He's standing by the window. I froze. Every muscle locked up. A chill rolled through me so violently my teeth clicked. There was no he in my apartment. No one lived with me. No one should be standing anywhere. My voice came out tiny. What are you talking about? Who's in my house? The caller exhaled slowly like he was thinking. Then calmly. He's waiting for you. I hung up. My hand trembled as I grabbed the lamp near my bed, ready to swing it like a weapon. I didn't want to look. Didn't want to check. Didn't want to know if someone was actually there. But doing nothing felt worse. I crept into the hallway again. The apartment was silent. Dead silent. The living room door was half open. The faint glow from the streetlight seeped through the window and cast long shadows inside. I pushed the door open with my foot. The room was empty. Nobody was there. Nobody standing by the window. Nothing. Just me, shaking and frustrated and terrified over what was probably some sick prank. I checked the window anyway. Locked. I checked behind the couch. Empty. I even checked the closet. Nothing. I finally went back to my room, grabbed the phone, and blocked the number, even though it said unknown. It didn't matter. I just needed this to stop. I turned the phone off completely and plugged it into the charger. I crawled back into bed, exhausted, stressed, and ready to sleep for a week. But sleep didn't come. I stayed awake until almost 4 a.m., jumping at every sound. Eventually, somehow, I drifted off. I woke up around 9. Sunlight filled the room. Everything looked normal. I convinced myself I'd been half asleep, hallucinating, overreacting to a crank call. A couple of days passed. Nothing strange happened. I started to feel normal again. Almost. Until last night. Last night at 1:47 a.m., even with my phone turned off, it rang. I didn't even know a phone could ring while powered down. But it did. The screen stayed black. No caller ID. It just vibrated and buzzed like something alive. I picked it up with shaking hands. As soon as I touched it, the screen lit up on its own, still powered off, and I saw the words, "Incoming call. Unknown caller." My mouth went dry. I answered with a whisper, "What do you want?" No breathing this time. No silence. Just a voice I hadn't heard before. A different man. Deeper. More confident. Clear. "Step outside." I shook my head even though he couldn't see. "No. Tell me who you are." He ignored the question. "Step outside." His tone wasn't threatening. It wasn't angry. It was neutral. Like giving instructions to someone in a fire drill. I swallowed hard. "I'm not going anywhere." He inhaled sharply. Then whispered, "He's in your closet." My heart stopped. I didn't want to look. I didn't want to move. I didn't even want to breathe. My closet door was about 6 feet from my bed. And open about 2 inches. Just a sliver. As if someone had been careful not to make noise. "No," I whispered. "No, stop." The voice cut me off. "Don't look." Of course that made me look. Slowly. Terrified. I turned my head toward the closet. Through the tiny gap in the darkness. I saw something. Not clearly. Just the faint shape of something standing inside. Something tall. Too tall. I froze. I couldn't scream, couldn't breathe. Then the caller whispered, "Close your eyes." My voice cracked. "Why?" "He's coming out now." The closet door creaked. Just an inch. Then another. I jumped off the bed and sprinted to the hallway without thinking. I slammed the bedroom door shut and ran out the front door in nothing but shorts. I didn't stop running until I reached the parking lot, barefoot, freezing, shaking violently. I called the police from my neighbor's porch. Officers came, checked the entire apartment, the closets, the windows, everything. Nobody was there. No signs of forced entry. Nothing disturbed. They asked if I was tired, stressed, drinking, on medication. I told them no. They told me it was probably a nightmare. But I know what I saw. I know what I heard. I know what was in my closet. And tonight? Tonight is the first night I'm staying at a motel, far away from that apartment. I haven't gone back inside. I haven't even packed my things. But as I'm typing this, my motel phone, the landline I didn't even know this room had, it's ringing. And on the digital screen beside the bed, it's showing a time I've come to dread. 1:47 a.m. If this story kept you looking over your shoulder, then remember this. Some phone calls aren't meant to be answered. Some whispers aren't meant to be heard. And some nights, no matter how tightly you lock your doors, 1:47 a.m. always finds a way back to you. Sleep if you can. If you enjoyed tonight's nightmare, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss the next chilling tale here on Dew of Dread. Share this story with someone who thinks they're brave enough. And remember, every view, every click, invites the darkness a little closer. Until the next scream, stay scared.